Good morning. Just an update on everything that's been going on. Mefloquine stuff is actually gaining a lot of traction over the last little while, especially with regards to the legal stuff. A lot of people are filing. It's going to be good. Just remember the importance with the legal stuff can't be understated. It's not a matter of money issues and stuff like that. It's more actually holding the government accountable for the injury. Government fights it. 7 years from now, we might see some money, but I'm not holding my breath. But it's more holding the government accountable. We've got so many people that have committed suicide that have been on Mefloquine. It's quite astonishing, the numbers, when you actually start looking at them. I think it's in the last 6 weeks we've had 5 veterans in Canada commit suicide. Every single one of them was in a special duty area that required them to be on Mefloquine. So the importance of this legal stuff, I can't stress it enough. It will actually force the government to address this issue. And the more people that get involved is the more leverage we have against the government. So if you haven't contacted the legal firm yet, please reach out. Please reach out. Remember, we need the numbers. The more people that register with the legal firm, the more weight we have with the government. So take the time, reach out to, I'll include it in the comments. Take the time, reach out to the legal firm. Okay. Next thing, again, I'm getting a lot of people asking about how to tell if you've been poisoned by Mefloquine. It's very simple. Okay. Number one, is your PTSD responding to treatment? Number two, gut issues. And the gut issues are loose stool, acid reflux, or severe constipation, or a combination of the three. The next one is tinnitus, sensitivity to light, peripheral nervous system damage. Like with me, I get the front of my thighs will go all numbly and tingly. Every once in a while, my hands will go all tingly. And the outsides of my feet will go all numb and tingly. Next thing is the... Sorry, I've been talking to a lot of people this morning on the phone, kind of addled. The next thing is the mood moderation issues. So, for example, depression. A lot of people that have been poisoned by Mefloquine absolutely struggle with depression, and it's a very unique depression. It's not low-level stuff. It's very spiky, and it's with some very drastic highs and lows that almost, they change almost like daily, from minute to minute, hour to hour. Instead of just constant low-level depression, you'll be a little bit depressed, and all of a sudden your feet will drop right out from under you, and you get slammed so hard with depression that it's just, you struggle with suicidal thoughts and that. So that's the depression. Other mood management issues is you struggle with anger management issues. Like, you cannot not be angry and get, but it's not just anger. It's like a negative focus. You get really down on yourself, down on people around you. You find fault with stuff. It's like you go out of your way to be an asshole. And that's the part of the mood management stuff. Another issue we run into is with the periodic uncontrollable rages. But the thing is, you got to look at the rages. Okay, now is it a PTSD related anger stuff? Because I know for me with my PTSD stuff, you got to be able to differentiate it. There'll be a trigger point, whether it's sight, smell, sound, something triggers me, and then there's you'll get memory of stuff. You'll get emotions starting to come in, and usually when all that stuff, eventually what will happen is I'll start to have visual imagery and stuff streaming in too, and I'll replay stuff from deployments and that and situations in my mind, and then there's a lot of anger generated with regards to that. And the Mefloquine stuff is totally separate. Okay, it's for me, it's usually when I've been eating crappy, the ringing in my ears is through the roof. I'm having body temperature regulation issues, and I will just go completely right off the deep end. And I mean, not just a little bit, like fucking picking shit up, throwing stuff, wrecking stuff, verbally abusive, extreme negative focus. It's pretty brutal. So that's one of the issues you gotta not watch out for, but that's another way of telling if you've been poisoned by Mefloquine. And another one though is the balance and dizziness issues. So if you go to get up out of the chair and you gotta pause and stop and hold the arm of the chair and just pause for like a half a second or a minute, just almost to get your balance again, and then you continue standing up. That's another indicator of Mefloquine poisoning. And that's how you tell the difference between the Mefloquine poisoning and just PTSD, the physical damage. Like PTSD doesn't damage your vestibular system, doesn't cause tinnitus, doesn't cause the chronic gut issues. And when I say chronic gut issues, it's like PTSD will cause gut issues, and but it ebbs and flows. Like if you can totally isolate yourself from triggers and all that and stuff that amps you up, your guts will actually settle out. Whereas with Mefloquine poisoning, it's a chronic. Like for example, I never had a solid shit from 1992 to 2002. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, chronic. And like there was no solid shit, period. So that's how you tell if you've been poisoned by Mefloquine as opposed to just PTSD. So I'll go over that list again. PTSD not responding to treatment, gut issues, body temperature regulation issues, sensitivity to light, tinnitus, significant mood management issues. Okay? So that's the long and the short of that. And another thing is, you guys, please don't forget that this is physical damage to the brain. That's why all the pharmaceuticals do not work when you've been doing treatment. That's why all the neuropsychiatric issues don't resolve. It's because it's physical damage to the brain. And if you change your treatment focus from PTSD exclusively to brain injury treatments, you will get your life back. I'm living proof of it. I still have my moments, but I tell you, my moments are very manageable now. You can get your life back, and you can take charge of your health. Remember, it's physical damage to the brainstem and brain, and this stuff can be managed so it doesn't impact your life a lot. It will impact your life a bit, but Yeah. But it's manageable, though. When you rage, you won't be raging completely out of control where you completely lose your mind. You can actually get it so you can catch them before they start and take off. So how to do that? Research acquired brain injuries. Look for treatments for acquired brain injuries. And what you're going to find is healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, and exercise. Every single guy I've talked to that has changed their eating patterns and their lifestyle, their symptoms have greatly reduced. One of the options that is emerging that has been proven to be extremely effective is actually switching to a ketogenic diet. I've got numerous guys reporting back they've had extremely good results with ketogenic diets. So what I'm trying to say is you have options. Don't lose hope and keep fighting. Like, this can be beaten. Like, it can be beaten. Trust me. I've seen it again and again and again. And someone just asked me, they noticed that their PTSD symptoms are increasing. Well, the person that asked me was recently released, completed their military service, and part of the reason why you'll see an increase in a lot of people have an increase in symptoms is when you were still in, you were physically active, you got up early, you had regular patterns. You slept from this time to this time because you had to get up and go to work at early in the morning. So you had to have breakfast. You had to do all this stuff. Especially in the military environment, you also did regular fitness. So, because I noticed the same thing happened with me after I got out of the military, is I basically shut down. My diet went for a shit. No exercise. I became very sloth-like and lethargic, for lack of a better term. And my symptoms went right through the roof. So get busy, get moving, get eating healthy, research the hell out of this. You can take back your life just by getting active, eating healthy. It can be done. And you don't have to be medicated up the wazoo with pharmaceuticals and stuff. So, okay, take care. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to drop me a message. I usually respond if I don't respond right away, I'm crazy busy. But I usually respond within a few hours of the messages arriving. Take care.